Hi, this is Bob Sanders. Welcome to the exciting story of my sister's storytelling time. Do you want to hear a story, Megan?
Yeah!
Once upon a time, there once was a basset hound and a coyote. They were the bestest of friends. One day, the basset hound found out there was a chocolate chip cookie hunt going on in the Western Mountains. Yes, they were the Western Mountains. Both the coyote and the basset decided it was a good idea to go on this journey. As they approached the mountain, they met a badger. It was no regular badger. This was a really ugly badger, and it had really buck teeth, like this. It told of the two ways to get to the top of the mountain. One way was go up the spirally trail that led them all the way around the mountain several times until they found the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain was really high up, and it was very hard to get to, and that's where the cookie would be hidden, said the badger. The other way was to head one more mile towards the mountain, where they would see a goat that happened to own 2 jetpacks. This badger told of a disability that other goats call the STD, storytelling disorder. When the goat starts telling a story, he gets so caught up and he starts to daydream and doesn't know anything going on around him. Poof! The badger was gone, and the coyote and basset continued toward the mountain. The basset decided he would have none of the stealing, and when consulting the coyote let out a loud groan. Groan! After a couple of miles, they approached the goat. He welcomed them very loudly and insisted they hear his story. And when he did this, it was ridiculous. It was the best salesman in the world. And this is a direct quote from the Basset Hound. Once upon a time, boom! The goat was on his head telling the story, eyes closed. This truly was a challenged goat. The coyote took off for the jetpack, sitting next to the goat's home. The basset was still sitting, listening to the story. The basset hound, after the story was over, walked around to find the coyote, but he was nowhere in sight. The basset assumed the coyote was probably at the top of the mountain by that time, so he started his journey to the top of the mountain. But the basset hound went on the spirally kind instead of up with the jetpack because the basset hound didn't want to steal, and that's good. The climb was treacherous and long. The basset hound sweated mounds of sweat that John Boca himself could be proud of. When the basset hound got to the top of the mountain, he was shocked at what he saw. The coyote was sitting there motionless, with paramedics all around him. The jetpack exploded, they explained, and the basset was very sad. He was very sad indeed. In all randomness, the badger poofed out of nowhere and presented the biggest, most delicious chocolate chip cookie ever known to man. or a hound, or a dog, or any animal in the world, in the whole spherical world. And they lived happily ever after. No, the story doesn't end there. The coyote had to become a servant to the goat with the STD for the rest of his life, and the badger went on to be Dwight in the hit TV series The Office, and the rest lived happily ever after. Amen.